But I joined the industry a year after my father passed away. I watched my father work for the same company for almost 30 years. And in the last 9 months of his life, they cut his short-term disability by 2/3. So instead of my father focusing on his health, all he worried about was taking care of my mom. So really quickly, so my father, I actually watched my father really struggle the last 9 months of his life because he wasn't worried about his health. He was worried about taking care of my mom because she didn't work. And that gave me a really bad taste in my mouth for corporate America, but I didn't know how to do anything else. Literally almost a year to the day that he passed away, I was introduced to the industry. So even though I had reservations, that's why I jumped in. But I know my parents were exposed to the industry multiple times. But each time they saw it from people who all of a sudden weren't themselves. They became weird. They were crazy and kooky. They were trying to sell them a bunch of stuff. So anyway, so my father was introduced to the industry, and I just really want to explain this. But my parents were introduced to the industry many, many times, but it was so unattractive that they had no respect for it. Yeah. And then I kept thinking, I mean, after I got into the company about a year after my father passed away, I'm thinking, what if it was done differently? You know, what if it didn't look all slick and salesy and, like no good? Maybe my dad would have gotten involved in something and had a few extra $100 a month coming in part-time, passively, that maybe would not have had him suffering and going through this whole thing about money and focusing on his health. And I know that's what my parents hated about the industry. And that's what I don't like about the industry. And then, before my dad passed away, about a year and a half before he passed away, he told me, he said, Tiffany, there's got to be a better way to make 6 figures a year. And we were both in manufacturing. I followed my dad into the industry. I was like, but it's what we do. But no, there's a better way than working all these hours on an off shift and sleeping during the day when everyone's, at work and you're working while everyone's asleep. And then I said, well, what is it? He goes, I don't know. Honestly, Tiffany, I don't know what it is, but you might need to find it. He said, sell something, make something, I don't know, just find it. And that was in November of 1997. My father passed away in January of 99. And he planted that seed in me. And I really, really believe, guys, that if we make it where we're just the cool people in the network marketing company, that we're just relaxed, we have controlled intensity, we don't have to push or force, and we just keep it simple and don't get weird and don't think we have to be fancy and don't think we have to be great. Just say, guys, this is all we do. I mean, we see it. Well, our people come to us in droves, and so that's why I'm hung up on this.